Attachment styles in relationships. Let's find out which one you have. Your attachment style not only affects your romantic relationships, but it also affects other aspects of your day-to-day life. Understanding which attachment style you have will help you have better relationships with your romantic partner and with everyone you meet in general. While watching this video, ask yourself, which one of these 4 attachment styles sounds like you? And if you have a partner, which one sounds like your partner? This can be a huge step in understanding your own behavior and how to have a better relationship with your partner. And even if you don't have a partner, it's important to understand your own attachment style so you can improve your everyday relationships with other people and live a healthy life. Make sure to watch this video until the end and don't skip ahead, or you might miss some important information and come away thinking that you have the wrong attachment style. So where do attachment styles come from? Attachment styles come from a psychologist named John Bowlby. Bowlby's attachment theory boils down to this: the way we learn to bond with our primary caregiver as a child creates the way we will attach ourselves and relate to other people as we grow up, even into adulthood. Attachment theory says that our first relationships as children determine how we view any future relationships we may have in life. This is called our attachment style, and it is kind of like a lens that we look through to view the world. 2 people can experience the same event, but depending on the lens or attachment style they're looking through, they can interpret it in completely different ways. For example, if your parent or primary caregiver abandons you in the first few years of your life, it will create a rule in your brain that says you cannot trust people and they will abandon you. Then you will carry this rule with you as you go out into the world, and you will look for evidence to support this rule. Then, whatever you experience in life, you will look at it through the lens of your attachment style and say, "See, I told you so. You cannot trust anybody. They will always abandon you." Now, this is not your fault. This is just how our brains work. And if you can figure out which attachment style you have, you can use it to better understand your own patterns in relationships and make changes to the unhealthy things you may have learned as a child. Before we go through the 4 main attachment styles, please make sure to like this video if you are enjoying it, and subscribe if you are new to the Psych Authority channel so I can help you with more great psychology and relationship videos every week. Now let's get right into it. Here are the 4 main attachment styles. The first attachment style is secure attachment. Secure attachment forms when we grow up with a responsible caregiver. People with a secure attachment style grow up feeling that we have a secure place to grow up in, and that there is always a reliable, loving person we can go to when we need something. People with a secure attachment style have a positive image of themselves and a positive image of other people. The rule formed in the mind of someone with secure attachment is that you can trust other people can trust you, and that forming close relationships with people is safe and secure. The next attachment style is anxious attachment. Anxious attachment forms when we grow up with an inconsistent caregiver. People with an anxious attachment style grow up feeling like we are loved, but we are unsure that the person or people raising us will be there when we need them. This can happen, for example, if your parent or caregiver has a serious illness, or is emotionally unpredictable, or their attention is preoccupied by other things. Sometimes they are loving and they do pay attention to us, but other times they are unavailable, distant, or even abusive. People with an anxious attachment style have a negative image of themselves, but a positive image of other people. The rule formed in the mind of someone with anxious attachment is that we aren't sure whether or not we can depend on other people. This can cause us to panic when we are separated from other people, and it causes us to cling to other people. As we grow up, we crave intimacy with others, but we are also afraid of intimacy because we aren't sure if other people will be able to meet our needs. This can also be called preoccupied, insecure resistant, or anxious ambivalent attachment style. The third attachment style is avoidant attachment. Avoidant attachment forms when we grow up with a primary caregiver who does not give us the love and care that we need at all. People with an avoidant attachment style grow up feeling that the person or people raising us do not care about us and will not be there when we need them. We grow up feeling completely alone, and we learn that the only person we can turn to when we need help or reassurance is ourselves. People with an avoidant attachment style have a positive view of themselves, but a negative view of other people. The rule formed in the mind of someone with an avoidant attachment style is that we are trustworthy, but other people are not trustworthy. We grow up thinking that we cannot depend on other people and that we are better off doing things completely by ourselves. This can cause us to constantly isolate ourselves or develop too much independence. We grow up with the attitude of, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself, and that we cannot depend on other people for anything at all. This can also be called dismissive attachment style. Now, the final attachment style is called disorganized attachment. Disorganized attachment is kind of like a mixture of avoidant and anxious attachments. Disorganized attachment forms when we can't form a concrete rule for how to relate to our parent or caregiver. People with a disorganized attachment style grow up with an extremely chaotic environment that leaves a strong impression on us. For example, our parents or caregivers might be extremely abusive, rejecting, or manipulative, or they might have a strong mental illness or personality disorder themselves. Disorganized attachment is different from the other three attachment types. The other three attachments are considered organized attachments, and they give our brains an organized rule to follow about how to view our relationship with our parents or caregivers that we take with us into adult relationships. The first three attachment styles teach us either to trust, or cling to, or completely avoid our caregiver and others. But the rule formed in the mind of someone with a disorganized attachment is that there are no rules. Disorganized attachment teaches us that we cannot trust others, and we cannot even trust ourselves, often being overwhelmed and confused by our own emotions. People with a disorganized attachment style have a negative image of themselves and a negative image of other people. It makes us unpredictable, and we ultimately end up hurting people that do get close to us because of our self-destructive behavior. This is also called fearful or fearful-avoidant attachment style. So, what do you think? Which attachment style do you feel most describes you? Let me know in the comments. Please share this video if you have found it helpful, and if you want to learn more about attachment styles in relationships, click here to watch this next video, and I will see you there.